Tonight, the partner of a slain man is distraught and in a state of disbelief after he was shot and died in her arms. An outcry for an end to gun violence by community members and an upward trend in COVID-19 cases could see the island experiencing a fourth wave of the virus. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Tuesday, the 18th of May, 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. The community of Cul-de-sac was rocked by gun violence on Monday night. 25-year-old Tony Edmond met his untimely death due to the eruption of violence. He received multiple gunshot wounds and succumbed to his injuries while in the arms of his girlfriend. Our team visited the community in the aftermath of the shooting. Genevieve Gonzague begins our reporting.
St. Lucia has recorded yet another homicide for the year 2021. On Monday evening at approximately 9:30 p.m., 25-year-old Tony Edmond was shot dead. I'm standing in the spot where Edmond took his last breath before succumbing to his injuries in the arms of his longtime partner. The inconsolable partner of the deceased says she is still in shock after witnessing the love of her life gunned down right before her eyes and die in her arms. She says the trauma of witnessing the violent death of her partner has scarred her for life.
I was walking on the main road. I was about to go home when I just heard a shot boosting close range in our ears, and all of us talk and we ran and we was trying and move in the way. And I just see he collapse. He ran in that hole and he just collapsed. I can't really talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I can't talk about that.
Yeah.
The woman says she is perplexed by the entire ordeal and has no clue as to why anyone would target her partner. According to her, Edmond was not known to be a troublemaker.
He was very loving. He was a very loving guy, and he was always there with me. That's the only person I had there with me. Apart from my mother, that's the only person I had there with me. And we go through losses already, and that is for me there is 2 losses already. I don't want to talk about that. I thought I could have do it, I can't do it now. And he was not a ferocious person. He doesn't push problems. If you interfere with him, he will defend himself. That's just it. But he's not on problems. He's someone that will come and he'll make you laugh. That's his speed. He'll come and make you enjoy yourself. That's how he was.
A friend of the deceased called the killing a senseless act of violence, but she believes that the shooting may have been linked to an incident that transpired on Monday afternoon.
Like a fellow tell him what you want in your like the fellow cursing, sorry about that. And you tell the fellow you have his eyes to watch. And you tell me like the accident body was the fellow, but some people was programming him to interfere with the fellow without he have any problem with anybody. But Tony didn't have any trouble with anybody around there, not from him. He didn't have no incident, nothing with nobody around there. That's why people into shock. Right now, why the boy, they've had to go so.
She says Edmond was very jovial and well-liked.
Tony never deserved that because the type of person he was a very humble person and quiet. Yeah, that's the person I knew he was. He was not involved in no kind of war and kind of things like that. So I didn't see the boy death could have caused. So last night, that's very petty. He came there, his girlfriend, was just the 2 of them. Cat and dog, like everybody's saying, they're not doing like without each other.
The Royal St. Lucia Police Force is currently investigating the homicide. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Following the island's latest homicide, which takes the toll so far for the year to 22, community members are expressing concern about the spate of crime. While many were very reluctant to speak on camera, they say tensions have been brewing as of late.
Residents of the community of Cul-de-sac were the victim of St. Lucia's latest homicide. 25-year-old Tony Edmond resided, say they are fed up with the spate of crime on island. The residents did not wish to appear on camera for fear of reprisal, but spoke off camera. The community members are expressing fear that gun violence is permeating the length and breadth of the island.
We only had that was probably years ago already, that they had a chopping in Cul-de-sac since March 14th, 2014, around that time.
they had some incident by the field. That's what I know of.
She says of late, tensions have been brewing in the area and there have been cases of fights and other disturbances. She says while violent activity in the community is not new, the killing of a young man did come as a shock.
I don't recall of that, but I know there had many incidents like things like that happening. Yeah, there had drive-bys, different things happening in that area already. It's not really cooler because they always have a back and forth. Yeah.
But no death.
No, only fights and things, but most of the people that die around here already is not really from here.
She calls for measures to be put in place to curb the upsurge of violence and crime. Another resident explained that this latest incident may just be the one to open Pandora's box.
We back on the map again. I want the crime to stop.
Yeah, tell us.
Yes, because everybody's a victim.
Everybody's a victim.
Yes. Now just stop the crime.
Residents are hoping that justice is exacted in this matter. Thus far, St. Lucia has recorded 22 homicides. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
An upward trend in COVID-19 cases could see St. Lucia experiencing a fourth wave of the virus. Health officials addressed the country on Tuesday as the Ministry of Health seeks to tighten measures which it says have been working to limit the spread of COVID-19.
As countries across the globe continue to grapple with sharp rises in COVID-19 cases, St. Lucia is taking a proactive approach to managing the increases in cases that have been recorded over the past few weeks. The most notable increase in recent weeks was of 47 cases on May 7th, the majority of which originated from the southwestern belt of the country. The national epidemiologist gave the latest statistics.
Over the last few weeks, we had noticed a plateau in the number of cases. However, as of May 14th, we have started climbing in terms of the number of cases. Now, with the circulation of variants within the region, within the world globally, with WHO now declaring another variant of concern in India, this is particularly concerning as we have started increasing. And we know that some of our member states have at least 3 variants to date.
Over the last 28 days, St. Lucia has recorded 414 new cases, averaging 20 cases per day. According to the Chief Medical Officer, the increase is being attributed to increased social activity.
As we've been seeing over the last few weeks, the increase in social activities, and from our contact tracing, we note that the areas where we see the increases in cases, where we're getting most of the cases, are in the areas with increased social activities starting up. I think for us now, and the intent today is really to alert the public, ensure that everyone is aware of where we are at in relation to COVID-19, to alert the public on the increased trend that we note in our epi curve. Previously, we were managing with a rate of transmission of 1.1. We have gone up to 1.54, and we see the upward trend towards a fourth wave in country.
Dr. Belmar George stressed the importance of personal responsibility.
So this is really for the public to be aware of where we're at and to see why a level of our personal responsibility. There's been a general relaxation of the measures during the month of May. I think if we all take an honest look around what's happening on the ground within the communities, the social activities, and there are specific areas which we have flagged and picked up the outbreak of our cases. There are certain services that are higher risk where we get more cases when there is one detected.
As of May 18th, St. Lucia has recorded 4,871 cases of COVID-19. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Thank you very much, Nisha. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, new COVID-19 variants are putting a twist on what had been forecasted across the globe. The city police unit to beef up patrols to clamp down on robberies targeting students. And could the stench of fish on Jabati Street be a thing of the past? That and more after the break.